Farming, farming. Hey guys. So in the last video, I know I talked about doing the runs from the silos and emptying them out and dropping them off at, the different marketplaces and whatnot. And the whole goal was to earn 155 grand. Well, more than that, because we would need running costs and stuff like that. But basically earn 155 grand to buy that seeder for the 155,000. So as I'm going back and forth here, emptying the silos, I did some thinking, I did some figuring, I did some calculating, and I realized that I think that's kind of stupid. And, somebody that's watching this might be going, no, dude, you should buy this or buy that. And you're probably right. What I'm going to buy is not that $155,000 machine. I might not be buying exactly what you said. What am I doing here? But I realized that there's probably 4 or 5 different things that we could buy for the farm that are going to work out a lot better than just dropping 155 grand on a seeder that does a 15-meter spread so that we could cultivate a field that, I don't know how wide this field is, but we really don't need the 155-meter cultivator seeder right yet. And I will explain to you what my plan is in just a second. So in the meantime, let's make this go away. There, it's gone. In the meantime, get the hell off my field, Far. You're done. For now. And we want to get out of the way of this guy, because the cultivator's still moving. And that seeder's going to be right behind him as soon as he can turn around. The guy on the green tractor. Or the light green tractor. See him go? So, let's move this combine out of the way. So he's fully emptied. Empty hopper. I'm just going to pull him off the field and stick him over here for now. And you can see that cultivator doing his run. Down there in the blue. You can see the seeder chasing him. I don't think the seeder... I don't know if the seeder moves faster than the cultivator or not. He might. He might catch up to him, but I don't think it's going to be a big issue. The cultivator's got a pretty good lead on him. So with any luck, they'll finish up really quick. So what needs to happen now is this field's almost ready to turn over, enable the quick time, so that we can pump out another harvest here. Before we do that, what we need to do is fertilize it. And as I explained before, fertilizing basically just doubles your crop. Takes your 100%. Your field that you would get, the amount that you would get from that field, and it literally just doubles it exactly to the number. At least that's what it used to do, and that's what I think it still does. So we need to buy a fertilizer because we do not have a fertilizer yet, and that's one of the pieces of machinery that we really need to buy. That 140, I didn't get 155 grand, but at the same time, I also did not completely empty out all my silos. Wheat prices were down, so we would have been losing big time on wheat, and there's a tiny little bit of surplus on the barley and the corn, and I actually didn't even touch the potatoes because I think we have enough money for what we need to do. So what we need to do is buy some type of fertilizer. I realized before, when I went back and watched some of the videos that I made before, the first 3, I have to apologize. I realized that there were a lot of things I started talking about and I just totally lost my thought process because I got into something else. And one of those was something I was going to say regarding where the hell are the... Yeah, the fertilizer spreaders. So that was one of the things I started talking about, and then I got sidetracked or off, whatever, started talking about something else, and I forgot to get back to it. So basically, what I wanted to say was that there's fertilizer spreaders which fire out like solid pellets, and you just fill them up right here, right over here on this guy. I guess the liquid fertilizer's in that tank. Here, we can make the phone go away. I guess the liquid fertilizer's in the tank, and maybe the pellets are in the bags, or I don't know. It's probably all just for display. But the point is this. These are solid pellets. This is liquid. That's solid cow manure, like literal physical cow crap, that you have to manually load into each of these trailers with a front end loader and a bucket. It's a pain to do. It can be fun. I might do a little bit of it later, But there's a lot of manual work involved in that. And we don't have any cows, so, you know, there's that too. Slurry tankers, which are kind of cool. That's like liquid cow crap. And if you're going to invest in one, I recommend investing in this one. It doesn't say what the actual spread is, but I would imagine it's 15 to 20 meters. This is a pretty big slurry tanker. And it, like I said, it's basically just a tanker you fill up with liquid cow crap and spray all over the fields. However, you have to have the liquid cow crap, which we have virtually none of because we don't have any cows. I think we do have some solid cow manure and some liquid manure in the silos over on the cow pasture area, but we're nowhere near that. And it's, well, it's 13 grand for the smallest one, but the smallest one is small. What I like to do when it comes to fertilizer, I always used to be a spray guy. I always used to go with the liquid stuff. And it's fine, and it works great. It doesn't matter if you use this one, if you use the liquid, the pellets that you buy at the farm, whether you use the solid cow or the liquid cow. It all does the exact same job, and overlapping them doesn't do anything. If you throw on the liquid and then throw on the liquid cow and then throw on the liquid, I don't know, like the liquid commercial stuff, chemical stuff, and then throw on this, you're not going to get 2 or 3 or 4 times the crop. Once you fertilize, you only need to fertilize it with one of them, and then you're done. I always used to be a liquid guy, and then what I realized was that if you come over to the pellets, if you go down to this guy, the Amazon ZAM1501, it's 14,000 bucks for a 36 meter spread. That's massive. If you go down to this guy, you can get 40 meters for 48,000. The difference is they're both trailers, but this is a pretty big guy to haul around. And when that's the way these work is that you need to actually fold and unfold them. And when these two arms right here unfold on either side of the tank to 40 meters, it really becomes a driving hazard. It becomes a real pain because it's literally 20 or 18 meters or whatever it is per side, 20 meters a side. And they're like these massive arms, like on a plane, like wings on a plane, that just want to catch everything when you try to turn around or do anything. If you go with this guy, you get 36 meters versus your 40 meters, 48,000 versus 14,000. So there's a massive cost savings. I don't believe it's any more expensive to buy the actual fertilizer itself, but if it is, I don't think it makes up the difference between 14 and 48 grand. You don't have to worry about the issue of the massive arms smacking into everything, trees and whatnot, if they're solid objects and you can't drive through them. Because this thing, you'll see it. We're going to buy it. 14 grand. We'll buy one of them. And the other thing is, our regular tractor, these Brewers that I was praising in other videos, they'll haul that guy with no issues whatsoever. So we're just going to drop this tractor right here, and we'll head over to the farm shop and pick up the new fertilizer spreader. So this is what I'm thinking. We bought the fertilizer spreader for 14 or 15 grand. It was 14,500. We bought that guy, and I'm thinking we buy a bigger trailer, and maybe, I don't know, I forget how much they are, but I'm thinking 2 new combines, buy 2 new far combines. Now they will be temporary for I don't know how many videos, but it's, you know, it's not like a long term. Well, that's great driving right there. Fantastic. I should probably be in the vehicle, shouldn't I? So there's the seeder, or not the seeder, the fertilizer. The Amazon. We'll just back up to this guy, so you can see. Look at the width of it. It's not too much bigger than our actual trailer is. It's tiny, but this thing will throw out 36 meters wide. Like I said, the other one that does 40 meters, yeah, you get another 4 meters, 2 meters per side. But if it was extended right now and fully opened, and we were driving down this road, I don't know why you would have it extended while you're driving down a road. But if it was, we'd be clipping into the trees and into the rocks. And when you're going back up and down things like this, like with this guy, we can pretty much start anywhere. With the guy with the big arms, if that was our field that we were on, you'd have to really perfectly position him, and it's just a pain. It's much better to go with the smaller fertilizer, with the pellet style fertilizer. I never used to do that. I only tried this for the first time when I actually bought the titanium, the add-on that adds this map and then the case vehicles and whatnot. So we'll drive up to this machine and we need to fill it up. Now I've pressed F1 to make my little my key window up here go away. So you see how it says you first need to fill this implement? We'll just drive up here and hit R. And down in the corner there you can see it filling up 25%. I'll fill this guy right to the top, because whether we do it or we set Courseplay to do it, and I am going to set Courseplay to do this in a moment and show you, but whether we do it or Courseplay does it, it's going to pull out of the tank. It's not like when you set a hired hand to work with seed, where you only need 5% of the seed in the seeder, and if you use a hired hand, it doesn't actually, it's kind of a weird little trick, it doesn't actually pull out of the seeder capacity, seeder tank, or whatever you want to call it. So let's come over here and put this guy right up over here. So I think I'm actually going to manually do this. Yeah, you can't go too fast, obviously. I press B to turn it on, and I'm going to manually do this field first. And you can see how wide it is. Now, yeah, I'm wasting a lot off the left side. So I'm just going to go ahead and correct a little bit by going right. We can utilize a little bit more of the left side that we were wasting there. If I go too far over, obviously I'll start opening up and leaving gaps. The next run, the next time we do this field, that's actually when I'm going to do the Courseplay mod. We'll do it manually once, why not, what the hell. But you can see, that's one pass. That's how, yeah, I don't know if anybody knows if I can go into the INI file or something and change view distance. I've heard a lot of people complain about that. I always turn it off when I'm doing a turn, by the way, just to save fertilizer. But you see the draw distance here. You see how I only get, like, I don't know, what is it, 200 meters, 150, 200 meters, not meters, but feet up. And then I'm getting all that kind of like pop in on the field. I haven't tried altering the INI or any settings to see if you can change your draw distance, but if anybody knows anything about that, let me know, please, because that's one thing about Farming Simulator that has always annoyed me. And there, I'm failing. I will go back and do that. I fertilized a little bit of that field up there. Let's just quickly go back and run over this. Now, if I was doing a Courseplay, I would want to make sure that my run that I did was really good, that I didn't have any of those gaps, because remember, as you're doing Courseplay, it should be a perfect run the way you want it, because it is recording those specific waypoints. And when you tell Courseplay, when you set it up and do the manual run, or the auto run, I should say, it's going to follow those very specific waypoints. So if you're leaving gaps, it's going to leave gaps when you run it, which obviously you do not want. Overlapping a little bit, but it's safer than leaving a gap and breaking the fertilizer. So I don't know if we're going to be able to do this field and then in one more pass. I think we might be able to. So yeah, I'm thinking 2 more combines, making it 3 combines, but instead of buying anything too big, is it going to get it? No, I'm not going to be fussy. I'm going to leave that one because this is just a manual run of the fertilizer. And it's not actually done yet, but the second, see how, okay, the cultivator, let's just turn this off for a minute. The cultivator finished his run, but then he just stopped right there. He didn't get out of the way for the seeder. So there's nobody in there. We're not paying him, but we're still paying this dude on the Kramer Allrad to just sit there basically and wait for this moron to get out of the way. Really, that's me, because I should have checked. But it'd be nice if you could tell these guys to like finish and then get the hell off the field. And you'll see that seeder go for his, is it his last run? Oh, it might be his second last run. Yeah, it's gonna be his second. Well, he might even need 2 more passes. But in the fertilizer truck, we should be okay. Yeah, we'll be alright. So yeah, 2 more far combines, like that red combine we have up there. I'm thinking 2 more of those. We bought the fertilizer. I was thinking a bigger trailer, definitely a bigger trailer. Tipper, whatever you want to call it, so that we don't have to constantly go back and forth when we're unloading the combines. And the other thing is, with 3 combines going, we're going to be constantly, you know, going around, bouncing around to each combine to try to empty it. So that guy's done. That's the whole field done. I know it looks over there like it hasn't been done, but again, that's the silly... It's not really pop-in. It's, what do they call it? It's like a draw distance, but it's not, because if it was draw distance, then it would probably be like, you know, I wouldn't be able to see the trees and stuff way, way out there in the mountains and all that. I don't know. It's like this radial effect, and if you can change it, that would be awesome, because that annoys me. But it's like this giant circle around your tractor, around whatever you're driving, combines or whatever. It's not really that giant, obviously, because if it was giant, I wouldn't have an issue with it. So I'm just going to drop this guy here, and let's go into our buy menu and actually check out those 2 combines, because my thought on this is they're 32 grand a piece plus 5, so 37,500 for that and the header. So let's buy 1 of those, 2 of those, 1 of those, 2 of those, and I kind of wanted to get another tipper. Now we can sell off this tipper. We'll make 2,500 bucks, 2,450. But ideally, we want to move up to that. We could buy that 48, but then it's only going to leave us with what, 9,000? I don't know if I want to do that. It holds 61,000. Not to mention, if we bought this guy with our current setup, we'd need to drop another 12 grand at a minimum to buy the Sega Uno, which is basically the 5th wheel hookup. And we just don't even have the money for that. So in the meantime, I'm thinking this Kruger Agroliner Muck 402. And that's 38 grand. That's going to leave us a pretty decent surplus. And it'll hold whatever. Let's buy that. And our tractors we have right now should be able to haul that without any issue. So the first thing I'm going to do is go and pick up that tipper. And then I'm thinking of just doing the little teleport trick for the combines. I don't know. If anybody's watching this and you have issues with using the teleport trick to automatically, you know, kind of take a vehicle from the shop up there and just put it in your farm space back in the parking lot on your farm, you can let me know. If you don't mind, then I probably will do it for a chunk of the vehicles. It just speeds things up a lot. I mean, I know it is a simulator, but if it was a, you know, if I really played it like a simulator, I guess I'd be driving like this all the time. And I could, and I have in the past. I mean, most of the time, I play Euro Truck as well. I don't know if I mentioned that in one of the previous videos I did. But I'm a big simulator fan. Yeah. I'm a big sim fan. I play pretty regularly. Farm Simulator, obviously. Euro Truck Simulator. I just got the Going East expansion. That's pretty cool. Adds a couple new countries. And some, you know, some new effects and a bunch of bug fixes and tweaks and stuff like that. I play Train Simulator 2014 very regularly. I love that game. I have a couple DLCs for it. What else? Euro Truck, Train Sim. Oh, Flight Sim. I'm a big Flight Sim fan. Hopefully, in the future, I'll be able to do Let's Plays or showcases or whatever you want to call them of all of those. But I'm just going to start small and work up. And I'm also working on a Far Cry 3 Let's Play with my brother. And actually a Far Cry 3 and a Sleeping Dogs Let's Play with my brother at the same time. So there's the tipper. We got it back. Let's sell this tiny little Krone Emsland. Get it out of our parking lot and make a couple grand off of it. And then I'm thinking of just popping these guys. And what you do basically is you just go to your map where you can select your vehicles. For anybody that might not know this, you click on Reset Next Selected Vehicle or Tool, and you just click it, and it'll be right beside us when we come out of this menu. And you just need to do it for everything that's there. So the 2 combines, the 2 actual combine units, and then the 2 header units. I'll just quickly save the game. And there they go. They just kind of drop down from the ceiling, from the sky. And we'll grab these guys. And they don't port in or teleport in with their headers attached. And if that wasn't bad enough, they don't port in with them even facing the right direction. So we'll just line up with these guys, and I think we'll just teleport them right out of the field right now. So my theory on this is that by having these 3 combines going, we're going to be able to tear up that field and harvest it so much quicker, and make money a lot quicker, because we're just basically going to rip up the field faster. Ideally, and in the future, and this is kind of what I'm working on here, in the future I'll have another tractor with another seeder, so we'll have 2 seeders going at once, and 2 cultivators going at once, until we get the big guys, that, you know, the one that I was going to buy for the 155,000, until we get 2 of those going. Like on my other file, when I bought the field right in front of us there, which is number 15, I had 2 of the 155,000, 2 of the big Amazons going, 1 from each side, and I think I had 3 big massive cased harvesters going at the same time. So what I like to do is put 1 here, because I'm going to start 1 combine right on the field right here. It's going to start its run down here, and then I'm going to have another one start at the other end, which is that guy down there, and then I'm going to have another one start right in the center. So let's just port back to this guy over here, and we'll get them all set up, because that field is basically ready to just turn on, you know, speed up the time, the quick time, and kick the harvesting speed up, or not the harvesting, but I guess the growing phase up. So we can actually do that right now. So I'm just going to go into the menu and turn up plant growth to fast, and turn up time scale to 120. And you can also do that in the actual game by is it 7 and 8? Yeah, 7 and 8. 7 goes down and 8 goes up. You can see it up by the clock there, 120 times speed. So when I'm doing harvesting and cultivating and seeding and fertilizing and some other things later on, like, you know, if you're harvesting corn or working with silage, whatever, sometimes I'll keep it down low. I'll keep it lower at 15 times, or sometimes real time if you really need to slow down time. If time gets away from you and your crops grow in and you haven't harvested them yet, and you still need to harvest them before they turn and rot and you lose all your money and all your time you invested in, I'll go right down to real time, like I was there pretty much for this entire video, and just leave it there. And it's 1-to-1. It's 1 minute of real time is 1 minute in game. And, you know, I would think that plants probably aren't going to rot by the minute. At least I would hope not. So 1 will start right here. That far right back there will start on the far left side. That combine over there will start on the far right side. And this guy's going to start somewhere in the middle. I don't think anybody really owns this field yet, but I'm just going to park this right here. Keep it off the road. This road is a main road. The milk truck will come down here every day. Is it twice a day? Might be once a day, might be twice a day. But he'll come down here every day. And if we park this thing across the street, he'll get stopped and cause a traffic jam and all kinds of crap we really don't need to worry about. So that time's running at 120 times, plant growth fast. The fields are cultivated, seeded, and fertilized. They're ready to go. That's why we kicked up the time. And we're basically just waiting now. And as you can see, this tractor can pull this tipper empty, no problem. It'll slow it down a little bit when it gets filled, but like I said, these tractors, these Brewer tractors, the yellow and green, they're incredible, really. So I'm thinking, just gonna save the game, and let's check on our growth. So you can see there's 4 stages to growth, and then actually ready for harvest, and there's 3 stages to that. We're stage 1 of growth. So I think what I'm gonna do is just fast forward this until it's ready. Or you know what I'm going to do? I'll cut it. That's what I'll do. I'll just do a fast transition cut. So the next time you see this, boom, it'll all be ready to go. Welcome back. It's 7:55. Our field of barley has come in nicely. It was a little cloudy through the night, really foggy this morning. but it looks like we're all set up for a good day of harvesting. So what I've done here is set up all 3 of my combines just in the order, basically the placement of just where I want them. But guess what? I've realized, and maybe somebody else has realized this too, I made the incredible new mistake of buying a trailer basically that won't, it's too big for these little combines that we're using. The pipes, when they extend out, they'll only come to, well, they won't come over the top basically. They'll come to about that where it bulges out there. So this trailer is useless to us. A giant noob mistake, but what can you do? So what I'm going to do is get all 3 of these combines ready to go. Well, they are ready to go, but I'm gonna get them going on the field. So he's chopping. Let's go over to the next guy. He's set up for about the middle part. He's a little more to the right, but that's okay. And we'll get them going, and we'll get him going. So we got all 3 working this field at the same time. I'm gonna pop back over to this guy, and I'm gonna disconnect from that tipper, and we have 21,000. Well, unfortunately, the one I want to buy is this one. It's 21,000 liter load capacity. It's 25 grand. We have 20, well, it's coming down, just under 21 grand now. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sell off this big one for 20 grand, because I just don't have the patience to go back and forth with the tippers. And even if we did that, I don't think we'd actually make enough. If we made enough to buy that trailer, it wouldn't be enough to carry on and have money for just, you know, running costs and whatnot. So we're gonna go with the HKD 302. When I found that out, I felt like such a jackass, but what can you do? Live and learn. So I'll quickly go over and grab that tipper, and you can see 2 of our combines are almost at 100%, and the third one's about to hit 80. They fill up fast. And with all 3 of those going on that one barley field, I think it's barley we had going on there, wasn't it? Yeah, it was barley. With all 3 of those going on that barley field, they are ripping it up very quickly. Now this trailer should have no issue fitting underneath these combines. If it does, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to drive this tractor off a bridge, I think. And we're just hauling ass pretty much now, because those 3 dudes sitting there, you can look at the 15, look at the number down in the corner there, the money 15372 is just peeling away, and all 3 of those dudes are just parked there on the field doing nothing. So if we let that go for a couple of minutes, you can see how fast you can lose money if you're not paying attention. Yeah, all 3 of them stopped. The guy on the far end actually made it all the way down 1 row and a quarter, looks like about a quarter back up the field. You missed some, dude. Oh well. So yeah, we have no problems with the pipe on this one. Like I said, on the other one, I drove up to it and I smacked into the combine just to test and see, you know, if it would actually go under there. Because I set up the combine to go at the beginning of this run, just like this guy was, and I'm like, wait a minute, that something doesn't look right here. So I drove up the tipper up beside it, and sure enough, it wouldn't even come under it. It pushed the combine all over the place when the front of the tipper hit the pipe on the combine. At least it unloads pretty quickly from these combines, though. Come on, dude. There you go. Try to drive on his little path here. Stay off of that good barley. And we're just going to pick it up from this last guy over here. Oops. Yeah, this guy's set up so that we don't actually need to drive on any of the crop. That's good. And we should be good. About there. Just kind of spitting all over the place. And that first combine that we emptied is now back to 50%. So you can see how quickly they'll go through this field. Now if we make a decent harvest on this, I'm thinking the next thing I'm going to invest in is maybe another one of those, another cultivator, and another seeder. And that way we'll be able to just get this field not only harvested incredibly quickly with 3 machines, but if we had, I guess we need one more we need 2 more tractors? No, because the way I would run it would be the two, oh god, brain fart. What are they called? The 2 cultivators. Wow. Getting old. The 2 cultivators running at one time on 2 different trailers, obviously, and then I just have them pick up the seeders. And both the cultivators and the seeders would actually be parked like right on the field, ready to go. So I think that would keep us up pretty quick. We only need 1 fertilizer because the amount that you can get with that 1 fertilizer, what was it, 36 or 38 meters? I think it was 3, maybe 4 passes on this field. So this guy and the guy in the center, 100% again, and 85% on the far guy. And I think he's turning around. Yeah, he is. That's why it stopped. So what I'm thinking is, I'm thinking about investing in one of these guys right here. What happened? Did we start rolling backwards? We did too. Maybe I hit a button or something. If you go under mowers, this guy for 3,500 bucks, I'm thinking about picking up one of these, and getting into some sheep farming. And sheep basically will, all they require is just grass, just for food, and you just give them time, and I guess some other farmer or farmhand takes care of all this shearing, and they produce wool, as you would imagine they would. And the wool stacks up on pallets, and then you come by with a front end loader with a pallet fork, like a skid fork, and you can pick that up and you can take it off to the woolery, the spinnery I think they call it. And for each one of those, we're on normal, right? So I think for each one of those it's 10 grand. It might be 5,000, it might be 10,000. I know if you put it on easy, you get, if you put it on, depending on whether you put it on easy, normal, or hard, you'll get different amount of money for each pallet of wool. So I think on normal, which is what we're on, it might be 5,000, it might be 10,000. It might have been 15,000 on easy mode. What I personally like to do is just let them build up 6 or 7 skids, which does take a long time, but I do it in conjunction with the regular farming, the grain farming and dairy farming and everything else. And, you know, periodically you'll get another skid, and you just take that off with the front end loader and you load it up on onto a trailer, and then you grab that one trailer that might have 6 or 8 skids on it, and you take it off, and there you've just made like 50, 60 grand. I think it's like 100 grand on easy. So this front combine, the first combine that we set off, he's done again. So if you timed this right, you'd pretty much just be bouncing from combine to combine, emptying them and filling up your tipper. So you can see, just as we're emptying this guy below 80, that other trailer is now hitting 87, 88, 89, and the other one's just pushing 60 now. And this guy's emptying. We'll cut him off a little short. Yeah, you see what I mean? This dude's at 100. He just hit 100 a moment ago. Just as we got off that guy. Off of his combine. And the other guy's at 74%. And he's doing a turnaround. So you could just keep going from one to the other, to the other, to the other. Where your hiccup's going to come is once you've filled up the actual trailer, you have to run it back. Well, that time that it might take to run back, they might all very well fill right up, all 3 of these combines, max to 100%. So I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to go right across the field. Thankfully, it doesn't damage any crop, and we're going to empty this guy out. Fast, dude. The other guy's at 30%. Yeah, what a difference with this trailer that can hold 21,000 liters. We're only at 42%. And I think we've emptied each one of these combines 2 or 3 times. So yeah, another seeder, another cultivator, that blue guy, and another trailer, and we'd pretty much be set. We could sneak away with using that trailer and this trailer. Oh, we have that other light green trailer too, though, don't we? So I guess really we don't need any other trailers, because I don't mind. I'm not going to be that picky where I want, you know, a trailer individual for each implement. That's later, like way later, when you get big money. Then you can have that luxury where you don't even need to unhook things. You just tab over to this trailer and off you go, because you've got the implement hooked up. We're not able to get that fancy or picky yet. So I think what I'm going to do is actually end the video here. I'm going to empty this last. No, maybe not. Let's turn around. I thought this guy was done. I thought he was at 100%. Or he is at 100%. He's just turning around. I guess he's prepping there. Yeah. He's prepping for the next run. So let's empty this out. And I think I'm going to end this video here. And the next video I'm going to pick up. I haven't decided on whether I'm going to just speed up the video so that you don't actually have to watch all of this, or if people would actually want to see this. I know in a lot of the other Let's Players I follow that do Farming Simulator, the majority of people actually want to see all the harvesting and the, you know, cultivation and seeding, and that's cool. I don't have a problem with that. I'm up for showing all of the footage, showing everything that happens. I'm cool with recording it but speeding it up, and I'm cool with just literally cutting from doing this to boom, a cut, and then, you know, everything's done magically. So through the power of editing and you not having to wait, I don't have any problem with doing either of those three. Actually, I'm going to empty this guy right here real quick. 58% full, 12,300 and change liters. And you can see we've got that other guy on the far field at 100% again. So it's great. It's just money in the bank. This is barley, which I think right now, yeah, I'm going to have to cut across the field. Barley is at, what, 658? Yeah, 658. The flour mill is the flour mill. The flour mill is the best price we're getting right now. But that's still down, as you can see by the arrow on the far right of the phone, beside barley. So I'm actually not going to sell right now, because we're just kind of handicapping ourselves. We're throwing away all the hard work that I've done here and the time spent. And the market seems to be flooded with barley for some reason, so I don't know what's up with that, but maybe people aren't buying beer or whatever else you make with barley. Do they make bread with barley? I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.